1938. I was 16 years old. My parents had a hotel and a restaurant in Northern California, and of course that's USA. And they had me washing dishes for the restaurant to learn the business, but I said if it's going to be round, I want it to be wheels. They said fine. My parents supported me, and they gave me their 1925 hand-me-down Buick. And I went to the hardware store and got some house paint and a brush, and I painted some scallops on the fenders. After you have to understand, there was nobody doing anything in those days.
Yes.
And then I went to the Woolworth Five and Dime, got some foxtails, and then I went to the kitchen store, got some pots and pans, put them on the hubcaps. And then I went to my mother's bedroom and took all the little gold knobs off the cabinet doors and opened the doors and back and forth, and I put them in the grill, which made the car really look great. So when we went to school, we were the king of the customizer. The only problem is when I got home at night and Mom got home and she couldn't get in her cabinet doors, I got grounded again for another week. But basically that's how I started in it. My first job was in 1940, and I was 16 years old, and I did a 32 Ford. I put some cat-eye taillights in it, and I got a whole whopping $10.
Wow.
So that made me a rich man, and I decided that is how I'm going to learn how to be a customizer.
Yes, and from there you have gone through a lot of stuff. You have done cars for the movies, and you have done cars for the movie stars. You must have met a lot of beautiful film stars.
Well, actually, from the 40s, we really pioneered. We started doing Mercuries and Fords and shoeboxes and custom Plymouths. And the 50s was really a pioneering time for the movie industry, because I was what you call an illegal street dragger. And that means I raced on the streets with my little hot rods and everything, and the police chased us. But the movie industry liked that because it was exciting for them to show how hot rod gal, hot rod rock, hot rod this, and this was just a very exciting thing. So we pioneered the movie industry in the 60s of doing movies. And my first one was High School Confidential with John Barrymore Jr., and I built a 48 Chevy chopped that we had to roll over into some exciting scenes. And of course the movie industry loved us so well. In came the 60s. Now it's a different thing. Not on the big screen in a movie theater. Now we're on a little screen sitting on somebody's dresser drawer in their homes doing TV. And that got me started in there real quick. My first one in 1960 was the Beverly Hillbillies. Then we went to the Munsters, and then we went to the Batman, then we went to the Monkees, and then we went to the Green Hornet, then the Knight Rider, and the Dukes of Hazzard. So it just escalated. And Ford was very nice to me. They came to me and they said, well, we need a custom car for our car show and you have 5 weeks. I said, well, can we do it? I said, absolutely. And this is the first time they gave a customizer a job to do what we call a concept car. And that's how we ended up with the Ford Futura for the Batmobile. Iacocca gave us that to go ahead and use for the film, and we were able to change it, which was kind of exciting because in doing a first movie like that, when I went into Dozier to see about doing a Batmobile, well, the first thing I could see on his script, he had pow, a bang, and a wee. So in that film, I said, well, if you're going to make that go like that in the film, I'm going to have the car do the same thing. So when they had pow, we'd send rocket tubes. Bang, we'd have anti-theft control and oil squirters. And everything would happen the same thing with the film. And that's why even today, in the years of 2000 or better, the Batmobile #1 is still #1 worldwide, because it is like a star. It is a Batman, and it is a Robin and a Batmobile. This is my third trip here to Sweden, which is kind of also escalated. I noticed the cars here are looking so much better, chopping the tops, making it look like it's more aerodynamic, and doing more of the blending, the customizing, as well as the cars, which we end up is paint. Well, I did the very first candy apple paint in 1948. And the reason why I did that is a customer came into my shop and he had a white car and he wanted it red because he could sell it cheaper if it was red. So I sprayed a red over a white to save money. Well, it became bright. It really looked good, but it has cloudy So I went ahead and got a fender and I sprayed it with silver and I sprayed the red over it, which is a toner. And being a generic toner, it would blend in everything. Again, it was really much more brighter, but it got into clouds. So I went down to the gold store and got some gold powder, put it in a jar, and the nitrocellulose, mixed it together, and I sprayed a gold base. Wow, now I'm really on the track, but it still was a little cloudy. So then I started taking clear and mixing it into toner until I got it. And the funny part about it, while I was doing all of this funny work to make this color look brighter and more aerodynamic, I went to a fun park. And what did I see? A candy apple. And that was when I said, I'm going to name that color candy apple red.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Of course, the paintwork has went on a little bit beyond that. Right after that, I got into pearls. And to get a pearl color, you don't have it. And I didn't want to mix powder into clear. That doesn't give me a pearl. So my wife and I, we went down to the fish market in Los Angeles, and we turned all the sardines over on their back. And I looked at their tummy to see the right scaly, pearly look. And when I found the one that was right, we grabbed it, we scraped the tummies, put it in a jar, mixed it together with nitrocellulose, put a flat white on the golden Sahara, and I sprayed that beautiful fish-colored golden pearl. But the only problem was, in spraying, it really smelled awful fishy. In the time that I've been coming here and noticing the growth of what the cars have done, it is really coming in leaps and bounds. Not only the design, but the workmanship and the dramatics and the colorful cars. It has absolutely become a unique system to see that here in Sweden. I mean, you're totally captivating the marketplace in the Europe area, and they're doing a tremendous job. The craftsmen there, the interest is there, the fans are there, and that's why your show here is the #1 show across the ocean here in the Europe area.